Is Apple banning Twitter from the App Store? We're going to do a deep dive into this and see what's going on. I saw a tweet yesterday from Elon kind of accusing Apple of, well, first of all, pulling advertising from Twitter, but also that they may be planning on getting rid of the Twitter app entirely on the App Store. And this is kind of big news because if you are an iPhone user, you're not going to be able to install the app directly to your phone if this were to actually go through. You'd have to use the browser. And nobody wants to be doing that in 2022. So let's get into it. I'm going to pull on over this news article from The Guardian. Elon Musk accuses Apple of threatening to remove Twitter from the App Store. I think the biggest thing right here is the word accuses, because I don't think that there has been anything, at least in my knowledge, from Apple saying that, oh, we're going to be, or they're thinking about doing something like this. So word is accuses. Elon Musk has accused Apple of threatening to remove Twitter from its App Store without giving a reason to this social media platform. Twitter's new owner also said the iPhone maker had stopped advertising on Twitter, prompting him to ask if the tech group hated free speech. I am going to state right up front that this is probably Elon being a hype man, because Elon is a hype man, and he is arguably one of the best in the world. Whatever you think about the guy, he is very good at drumming up controversy. Musk revealed the potential App Store ban in a series of tweets on Monday. He tweeted, Apple has also threatened to withhold Twitter from its App Store, but won't tell us why. So this is Elon making some accusations out into the world, and not necessarily anything to back them, but let's delve deeper. Musk appeared to confirm that Twitter content moderation was an issue for Apple. Asked by a journalist user if Apple was threatening Twitter's presence in the App Store or otherwise making moderation demands, Musk replied, yes. So I actually saw something the other day. This was yesterday as well. Go to Elon's profile here. And there was something about library, which is Odyssey. I'm going to see if I can find it here. But effectively, right here. During COVID, Apple demanded our apps filter some search terms from being returned. If we did not filter the terms, our apps would not be allowed in the store. Apple may make good products, but they have been opposed to free speech for some time. So this is the official account of Library, which is for those desktop users, odyssey.com, another alternative to YouTube that is saying that during the last couple of years, Apple has made some requests of them. Let's see here. Apple disallowed almost anything regarded to especially or human origins of the Yeah. So these accusations are pretty big. I think that if you are not allowing an app to be installed on a operating system, you are definitely limiting the reach of that application, because so many people nowadays simply just install apps to their devices instead of actually going into the browser and logging in, blah, 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 because that would be an extra, couple steps. My take on this whole thing is that we almost need to get away from apps. I think that the majority of applications that are on the web, because really these are web applications that are designed then natively for these various operating systems, is that what if you were to just do something where you install the app directly to your device from the browser? Android has this functionality. Apple does not, because Apple has been a walled garden for a long time and doesn't like to they definitely like to moderate the applications that go through the App Store for quality and such. I mean, this is not necessarily a bad thing for the operating system as well as the user experience that Apple wants each of its users to have. However, it also limits the freedom of the end user because, hey, I bought this device. Is it not actually mine, right? Am I able to mess up my device? Am I able to make mistakes and feel the repercussions of those mistakes? Or do I just want to have, kind of Big Daddy above me limiting my use case. And I mean, for mobile phones, this is, I don't think people want to, continue operating system installs and whatever when they brick their devices. So this, from Apple's perspective, I can see where they're coming from. However, they obviously have brought this policy into their desktop operating systems, Mac OS, etc., making it more difficult for people to load and install applications that are not natively, within the Apple Store. It's been a long time since I've used Mac OS, but I have a couple friends that use it, and it keeps getting worse year over year in how you are limited from installing things onto your own device that you have paid your well-earned money for. Let's continue here. Apple has been contacted for comment. Yeah, well, I think that these accusations are pretty big. So earlier this month, Twitter's former head of trust and safety, who resigned in the wake of the takeover, warned of a catastrophic expulsion from the Apple and Google app stores. That any ejection from those app stores would make it difficult for billions of potential users to get Twitter services. Apple's app guidelines state the company will reject apps for any content or behavior that we believe is over the line. Yeah, so this is, again, a controller of an operating system deciding what its end users can see. Now, with that being said, if you are at all technically inclined, you know that you can you can open Safari in iOS and you can log into your Twitter account and use Twitter services from there. You don't have to be installing the app. However, people that use Apple, I'm just kidding. No, it's limiting the reach of these applications because a lot of people do install the apps. And if you don't have that app on your home screen, you're probably using the service less. Because there's a point of friction in which you can't get to the app with one tap of the thumb. And all of a sudden your use of the app drops because people are less inclined to use it. So the funniest part about this whole thing is that on Twitter, people are like talking about Apple and they're like, Elon's going to make this alternate phone. He's going to make the Tesla phone. And that will be the alternative to Apple. And I was kind of like tweeting the other day and I was like, well, there's other operating systems that already exist, namely Android, that you could switch to right now, right? And I was kind of laughing that people are like, well, we can just, we're just going to build a new phone. And it's like, well, there already exists a alternative to this, right? Yeah, right here. Elon suggests he is open to producing a smartphone if Apple takes Twitter off the App Store. Would you buy? And I'm like, these people act as if there isn't an alternative smartphone operating system that already exists. The thing is in North America, we do live in an Apple bubble. There is like a lot of people use Apple. So in the rest of the world, Android has the vast majority of market share. But when you're in North America, every other person has an Apple device, right? So we're almost insulated into the fact that there is alternatives already. Now, I understand people are being like, well, I'm not going to install Google Play services onto my phone. Well, there are alternative ROMs that you can install on Android devices that allow you a little bit more control of your device. We'll get into that in a future video, but look into Calyx, look into Graphene, look into even Lineage OS. And these are kind of alternatives to the already decent Android operating system. So, hilariously enough, this I think this is a little bit of hype. I think that what's happening is that Elon's polarizing people. He's creating a little bit of hype, a little bit of controversy so that people start using Twitter even more. And I don't think Twitter is a bad platform. I think that there is a place for it. I really like it for writing down my ideas and then pushing those ideas out to longer form content like these videos. So there's an application for it, but are people jumping on the Twitter bandwagon? I don't know. He's saying that Twitter use is at an all-time high. He's saying that they're having to actually update services so that they can kind of accommodate the influx of users. We'll put it that way. So what do you guys think? Is this actually hype? Is this going to happen? Personally, I think that if Apple were to remove the app from the App Store, there would be a lot of backlash towards Apple. But like I had previously mentioned, there are other ways of accessing these web services via something called a browser that I think a lot of people have forgotten exists in 2022. So anyway, if you like this video, feel free to subscribe, come along for the ride, and we'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.